You'll be shocked to hear what they are planning for us in 2024. What I'm about to share with you today isn't just another update video or survival tip. It's about our survival and our freedoms in this ever-evolving landscape. This is going to be more significant than any natural disaster or economic collapse. Why? Because we can see it coming and anticipate it. In this video, I'll lay out the evidence, the plans in motion, and what all this means for us as preppers and everyday citizens. Be ready to listen with an open mind and be prepared to take action. If you think we are overselling it, take a moment to consider what's catching everyone's eye on Google Trends. Searches like "can't pay my credit card," "can't sell my house," and "want to give my car back" are not just popping up, they're skyrocketing. What makes this all significant is that these are not just a few isolated cases. It's a nationwide issue reflecting people's financial struggles and what's really happening in the finance sector. This naturally begs the question, why are these searches spiking? It's a clear sign that people are feeling the pinch. Wages aren't keeping up with inflation, and it's affecting everyone. The paycheck doesn't stretch as far as it used to. Consumer spending has been propping up the U.S. economy, but its debts pile up, and people struggle with bills. We are facing a potential crisis. If we can't spend, what will hold up the economy? Digging deeper into these Google Trends reveals interest payments on personal debt reaching astronomical levels of over $500 billion. It's like a mirror image of what's happening with the national debt. With all the economic chaos, we have to point out one interesting thing. Certain businesses have actually adapted to this chaos and continue growing. Take Home Depot, for example. While many big companies struggle, Home Depot is doing better than expected. But how is this possible? In times when expensive home renovations may not be a top priority, people are focusing on smaller home projects. Instead of redoing the whole kitchen, they're painting cabinets or fixing up the garden. And where are they heading for supplies? Home Depot. The clever part is that Home Depot didn't just watch this trend, they actively shifted their business strategy. They now stock up on what people need for smaller projects. It's a classic case of a big company not just surviving, but thriving in tough times. Their success story goes beyond business decisions. It reflects how our priorities as consumers are changing. We're becoming more practical, focusing on what's necessary rather than on luxuries. Another big change is what's happening with global politics. You've probably heard about the recent turmoil in the Middle East. You might think it's all just politics and disputes, but the real driver behind the conflict is the natural resources, specifically oil and natural gas. Sounds familiar, right? This is exactly what happened in 2001 as well. Looks like history is repeating itself. What's truly interesting is a specific region, Gaza. This little strip of land is sitting on a gold mine of natural gas and oil. The discovery of resources in Gaza could be a game changer, reshaping the energy landscape and geopolitical dynamics. It's not just about gas prices. It's about the reasons behind military actions, foreign policies, and regional stability. This is a high-stakes game with real consequences for real people. Another major change happening in the coming years is the domino effect on our economic landscape. Job cuts, strikes, and the push for automation. Major companies like Stellantis and Continental AG are announcing massive job cuts. This isn't just a few positions. We're talking about significant numbers impacting thousands of lives. Why is this happening? Recent global events have strained businesses. Job cuts seem like a quick fix, but they also might reflect a deeper shift, the push towards automation. Automation isn't just a futuristic concept, it's part of our present. Companies are investing in robotics and AI to make work more efficient and, crucially, cheaper than human labor. For example, in the auto industry, with the rise of electric vehicles and advanced manufacturing technologies, the need for traditional labor is diminishing. While on the one side, automation is on the rise, on the other, we're witnessing labor strikes. Workers, aware of their value, are demanding fair wages, especially with the soaring cost of living. Strikes, like the UAW, United Auto Workers, demanding a 30% raise, reflecting the current need to keep up with rising costs in our economy. However, here's the unfortunate catch. These protests can make matters worse for the workers. As workers demand higher wages, this gives the companies even more incentive to accelerate automation, which will hurt jobs even more in the future. While this is clearly great for companies because robots don't go on strike, they can be cost-effective in the long run. But it is clearly disastrous for the common hard-working citizen. Government policies aren't helping either. Tax incentives for automation make it more attractive for companies to invest in technology over people. Another topic that's not just alarming but straight up jaw-dropping is the cybersecurity crisis and ongoing cyber attacks. You've heard about cyber attacks hitting major corporations, but there's a twist that raises eyebrows. Consider Mr. Cooper Group, a financial services company. They recently faced a cybersecurity breach. Before facing the cyber attack, their CEO cashed out $25 million worth of shares. Seems kinda convenient, doesn't it? This pattern isn't isolated. Big names like Clorox and Johnson Controls have also been targeted. It's a domino effect with a suspicious twist. Calculated hits benefiting a select few within these corporations. When we look at the fines companies face for data misuse or settlements for unlawful service fees, it makes you wonder, could these cyber attacks be a convenient way to lose incriminating data? In a world where data is gold, it's not too far-fetched. But here's the intriguing part. These cyber attacks aren't just about financial manipulation. They're reshaping the corporate landscape. After such attacks, there's a push for increased cybersecurity measures. And who benefits the most from these upgrades? Cybersecurity companies. It's a booming industry, growing exponentially year by year, and these cybersecurity attacks are one of the many reasons why. Let's talk about something that's hitting us right in the wallets. The rising cost of living. We're sure you've felt it too. Every time you open your car insurance bill or stroll through the grocery store, the numbers just keep climbing. It's not just your imagination. The cost of living in the U.S. is on a steep upward trajectory, and it's hitting us where it hurts the most. Firstly, car insurance. In some states like Florida, insurance premiums have jumped a staggering 80% in just the past 18 months. That's almost double what you were paying a year and a half ago. But it's not just car insurance. Have you noticed the prices at this supermarket lately? It's not just a few cents here and there, it's significant. Essentials like bacon and eggs, and everyday snacks like Doritos or fruits have seen noticeable price hikes. This trend is hard to ignore, and it's not just a matter of tightening our belts a little. It's a fundamental shift in our daily lives. Prices have jumped for a variety of products in just a couple of weeks. It's not just about cutting back on luxuries. It's about dealing with higher costs for everyday items. Car repair costs are also up by almost 20% over the past year. This not only includes paying more at the pump, but also higher costs every time your vehicle needs maintenance. These aren't just numbers on a page. These price hikes are what millions of Americans are facing and struggling with every day. The question is, how are we going to adapt to this new economic reality where everything sells for an arm and a leg? All this is affecting one thing for the average American: our savings. The safety net for many Americans is dwindling at a pace that's hard to grasp. If the current trend continues, we're looking at a scenario where just 60 days after Christmas, the average American savings could effectively hit zero. This is a situation we've never faced before. So why is this happening now? Well, it's a combination of factors. Inflation is a big part of the story. It's been rising steadily, and our incomes just haven't kept up. The cost of living is soaring. Everything from groceries to gas is more expensive. Even those stimulus checks during the pandemic, while a lifeline for many, also contributed to this situation. The money that didn't go directly to us, the part that went to corporations and banks, played a role in driving up inflation. And now we're feeling the pinch. Here's the kicker. It's not just about not being able to save. It's about dipping into savings just to keep up with everyday expenses. People are not just failing to add to their savings, they're actively using them up to pay bills, buy groceries, and fill up their tanks. The Federal Reserve's economic data highlights a consistent monthly drop in savings. This raises some serious questions like, what happens when the cushion of savings is gone? What does it mean for the average American family when there's no financial safety net left? How will people cope with unexpected expenses like a medical emergency or a car breakdown? And what about long-term implications for retirement plans, college funds, and the dream of owning a home? It's not just a hit on the average American savings account. It's a hit on our quality of life and the stress that comes with financial insecurity. America's not alone in its financial woes. Canada is on the same trajectory, and its economy is collapsing as well. Click the video on screen now to find out more about the problem with Canada's economy.